Yeah, I really haven't seen Kody in months. It's so funny, I don't really think about him except for when I'm starting to think about the property. Christine likes to think I'm somehow not over him because I haven't had some sort of official conversation, but we've had lots of little ones. I don't see him, and I don't really miss him. Staff no longer feels permanent, and if I had another option, I would probably take it.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. Something happened in this new season of Sister Wives. Something has been going on for a couple years. And if you watch the show, you might be bored because you're like, Katie, we already know so much of what happened. And you're right, we do. We know a lot of what happened, but we also don't know what they're saying because of their contracts. So we know that relationships have ended, but we don't know how it all played out, right? And Janelle has proven with the very beginning of this new season that she has gotten revenge on Kody and Robyn without even trying. Literally, literally. This episode started with Kody and Robyn at Coyote Pass, and Kody and Robyn having an argument about what their plans were for this property, and Robyn trying to push Kody to reconcile with Janelle, telling him that there was still a possibility for healing. There was still a possibility that they could get back together. They could still make this work. She refused to admit or acknowledge Janelle's boundary. She refused to acknowledge Kody's boundary. You know, there's something very unhealthy about Robyn. Robyn refuses to accept the answer no. She refuses to accept, I want to move on. She refuses to accept anything that she doesn't want to accept. I would honestly be scared of Robyn if she was a man, if I'm going to be honest. Like, she would be a very dangerous man. As a woman, she's equally as dangerous only because of her manipulation and her lack of boundaries. This is a woman that claims that she is emotionally safe to her children and emotionally safe to other people, and that she is a very shy and kind and caring person. But yet, when people put up boundaries, when people put up stop signs, and when people say no, she refuses to accept the answer. Kody Brown tells Robyn that he isn't in a place where he wants to reconcile and he doesn't believe it's possible. And Robyn keeps pushing. And Robyn says that she won't give up on the possibility that Janelle won't come back to the family. She refuses to accept her reality, that she is no longer the top wife, that she's no longer the head wife. She cannot accept that she's the only wife because now Robyn has no competition, no fighting, nobody to prove that she's better than, nobody to win and beat and berate and abuse. She wants Janelle back to abuse financially and emotionally. Kody says he can't do it, but Kody spends a large portion of this episode crying and upset, unable to move on, commiserating about the family that he blew up himself and walked away from 10 years ago. Uh, I think a lot of people that watch the show find it almost strange because Kody has zero understanding of what's happening in his own children's lives. He has no clue. No clue that Isabel's moving. He probably doesn't know that Maddie's pregnant. He doesn't have a clue about his family, and he doesn't have a family. He says he's been excommunicated from his family. They've all kicked this abuser to the curb. But you know, they say that the absolute best revenge you can get on a narcissist, it's to ignore them, to not think about them, to not even let them impact or affect your day, to not acknowledge them or breathe energy into of them, because a narcissist is like they're like an energy vampire. They don't care about what kind of energy they get. They just want attention. They don't care if it's good attention or bad attention. They need supply. And if you're talking about the narcissist, and if you're thinking about the narcissist is winning because they get the supply that they demand. And so Janelle proves the absolute best revenge because in this episode, she says, I don't even think about Kody and I don't even miss him. Nothing is going to hurt Kody more than the concept and and the idea that these women aren't pining for him, that they don't miss him, that they don't think about him. Kody can't stop thinking about them because he lost his supply, he lost his property, he lost everything that made him feel like he was the man, but they don't think of him. There was an imbalance in this relationship, a very big power dynamic issue. They never had equal relationships with Kody. They never had equal standing in in their society or in their cult. They were nothing more than an object to Kody, but Kody viewed that object as a trophy for his godliness, his righteousness, his standing in heaven, and his way to brag to society that he's the guy that has four ladies. And now he doesn't. And now these women, this should tell you about like how dead these relationships were. Christine can move on and be happy, even though she's probably dealing with the heartache of like all of the trauma she experienced. And same with Janelle. But they're both being able to move on and they're happier away from him. They don't miss him. They don't miss the chaos. They don't miss the gaslighting. They don't miss the confusion. Their lives are simple. And Janelle recently did a get to know me, which was vastly different than Robin's. And it still, to me, again, proves that Janelle still is not thinking about Kody. Check it out.
I don't know why. I should have known better. Stoic, kind to a fault, and intelligent. What's for me is for me, and what's for her is for her.
That's a small taste of what she said, but she talked about her taste in music that people might be surprised with, how she loves to go camping, and how she wishes when she was younger that she would have just followed her dreams, packed up her car, and moved to Utah with her dog, or to Colorado with her dog. What's for me is for me, what's for her is for her. That told me everything I needed to know about where Janelle was at this spot in her life. That's her advice, words she likes to live by. What's for her is for her, what's for me is for me. Janelle is finally, she's saying, I'm not competing with anyone anymore. I'm not looking at what you have and thinking I need that or that's what I need to get because that's what you have and I want that. I'm not going to covet what other people have or what they want or be jealous of them. She came from a cult where the women are all sort of pit against each other and they are jealous of one another. It's hard not to compare when you are one of many women. It's easy for women in these cultures to look at the other women and if they look different than them and their husband appears to have more attraction to that woman, they might question if they're attractive to their husband. I mean, when you look at the scope of the women that Kody was involved with, there is a large discrepancy in their appearances, in their heights, in their weights, in their personalities. There was such differences in all of the women. It was hard for me to even comprehend that he could be attracted to all of these different women because they all had such different aesthetics, looks, and personalities. Some of their personalities were very similar. Like I would argue that Robin and Mary have similar personalities. I would argue that Christine's personality is actually a lot like Kody's, only in the extent that they both like to be the center of attention. I don't think that Christine's necessarily a narcissist, but they all look so different. So I would think that, if you're these women and Robin comes in and she's 10 years younger and she's thinner than you and she's tall and you're not, you're 10 years older than her, you've had six of his kids, you're put out to pasture, you're not going to have any more of his kids, you're not the new shiny object anymore. I would think it would be hard not to compare. And I know that Janelle spent a lot of time and years worried about her weight, worried about her appearance, always her weight being such a focal point and such a way for Robin to put her down, reminding Janelle during COVID that, she was high risk, telling Janelle she can make her plus size clothing line. Even at one point competing with blogs that Janelle wrote, where Janelle wrote about weight loss and her struggles for weight loss. And Robyn had to compete by basically saying that, just because you're thin doesn't mean it's not hard on you too. Anytime that Janelle got something or started feeling good about herself, Robyn was always putting her down. Robyn was never close to Janelle, but she was often the most like mean to her in terms of like her appearance. And it's honestly cruel. I find Janelle actually to be very beautiful, like very pretty. Like of all of the women, maybe the prettiest. And or Christine. I mean, both Christine and Janelle are very pretty. And what Janelle is saying there is like Robyn is trying to push Kody to reconcile. And a lot of people are trying to push her to compete with Christine. Like she needs to get married too. She needs to have her happily ever after. She needs to do what Christine's doing because that's the way you find happiness. And I think what she's saying here is I'm not competing with anyone. She has said that she doesn't want to get married again. She finds her happiness in her children. She's not thinking about Kody and she's not willing to compete with Robyn. Janelle has, without even having to be mean or even be cruel or say anything disrespectful, literally gotten the best revenge she ever could have gotten on both of them. She has removed herself from the toxic situation. She doesn't think about Kody, doesn't let Kody impact her emotions, dictate her feelings. She doesn't let him drive her choices or manipulate and gaslight her. And she's not allowing Robyn to make her feel like she's less than someone, that she doesn't deserve things, that she's not complying, that she's not being loyal enough. She doesn't have to worry about being compared to Robyn as the epitome of perfection. Paragon of perfection is what Janelle called her. That she had to be Robyn in order to be with Kody. And she's saying, that's not me. What is for her, and what's for me is for me. So I think this sets the stage kind of for where we're going to see this season going. Janelle even mentioned in an article with People about where things stand with Kody since Garrison died. And honestly, she just said that like sometimes she talks to him, but it's very infrequent. She said she doesn't wish him any ill will. She doesn't wish Robyn any ill will. She wants everyone to be happy, but she said that it hasn't really changed her relationships with them. She said she remains close to Christine. She loves her relationship with Christine and with the kids, but she doesn't really need anyone else. So there might not be as much drama from Janelle this year, but I'm always here for the independent woman era. And this is Janelle's finally the intelligent, independent woman era. Do you think all of this is going to cause Kody to go into a spiral even further? Will he even be more of a victim in all of this? And will Janelle and Christine still be able to thrive in spite of all of this? Being on a show with that man would be challenging, but yet they're doing it for money, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts about this revenge? I think it's going to drive Robyn crazy to know that she cannot get a reaction out of these women anymore. And I think it's also going to drive Kody further into his madness. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and click the bell so you never miss a video. Bye everyone.